Should you buy a used power supply? To answer that question, I bought these 4 used power supplies. And to test them, I bought this used graphics card, which I'm going to use with this used Chinese motherboard CPU and cooler combo, along with this used RAM. So, is there any other part of a PC? Oh yeah, and there's a brand new SSD on here, so that we, no outliers. But basically, we've got 4 EVGA 1000 watt G2 power supplies. So these are 80 plus gold, 1000 watts apiece, for a total of 4000 watts asterisk of power. And they do have their full wire sets on them, as you can see. Now, you notice I have no SATA ports, SATA things plugged in. That's because we're not using a SATA SSD / hard drive today, because I don't have enough just in case it kills all my hardware. I don't have replacement drives. So, we're just gonna, destroy our motherboard CPU and this beautiful graphics card that is super expensive and super freaking humongous. That's besides the point. Let's just test them, and as we're testing, I'm gonna talk about a few things, which is, first of all, should you buy, is there a yes or no answer? Like, should you buy a used PSU, yes or no? You'll often hear, no, never. Why would you ever do that? That's such a waste of time and money. What if it kills your system? Yes, that is all true, and that could all happen. A new power supply could also kill your system, and so could an earthquake. That's besides the point. So, there actually is some times where it might be, viable to purchase a used power supply. But you have to know what you're looking for and what is the safest to buy. Is this the right RAM? Yep. What is this, because you can definitely buy used power supplies. It's an option, but you have to look at who to buy from and what you should be looking for. My personal tip is don't buy any PSU from any company other than EVGA. This is obviously not sponsored or anything because I have 1,000 subs and no one loves me, but EVGA is the only brand that I know of that has a 10-year warranty on their power supplies. Now, I'm not going to say that you can, claim warranty after buying a used power supply. That's highly unlikely. But it means they have such a high standard for their power supplies. And I have, so far, never had an EVGA power supply fail. I've seen or have known people or have had personally a power supply of any other company fail before, including, Thermaltake, I have had one, High Power, Corsair, and you just look at the reviews, EVGA seems to be the gold standard. So honestly, that's why I bought 4 EVGA 1000 watt power supplies. Now I actually bought a 5th power supply, which was EVGA, but a different type, and we have 4 because the 5th one never came. Yay. So that's my first recommendation, buy from EVGA. Secondly, this one is just like if you're buying on eBay, because obviously, the natural idea is that if you're buying a used computer part, you buy it on eBay. And if that's the case, always have one of these. This little thing, it connects to the 24-pin connector on your power supply. This is a power supply tester. And honestly, when buying any used power supply, always have one of these. But especially if you buy it on eBay, make sure you have one of these on hand. They come with most EVGA power supplies, just by default, they have them. But if they might not send it with it, so you want to have one of these on hand. You can get one for like $10 maybe max on Amazon or eBay or something like that. But basically, they allow you to turn on the power supply without it being connected to any hardware. So basically, let's take this middle power supply, and we can plug in the 24-pin connector to this, just like that. Connect it as if it's like a motherboard, and you can actually turn this on. And if it, at the very least, turns on and works, you know that it's not going to instantly fry your hardware. So that's definitely a great way to test. And if it does turn on and break, this is where this tip that's very obscure but actually works. So if you're buying on eBay and you buy it and you test it and it blows up, it doesn't work, you're having a bad time, you should always have 3 options, okay? That's why when you buy on eBay anything risky like a power supply, you should buy it through PayPal through your bank, because that gives you eBay support. And if eBay support doesn't work, you have PayPal support. And if PayPal support doesn't work, you can just file a claim with your bank, and you will get your money back. And, you might get to keep the hunk of metal that just blew up your house. So, just saying, that's my tip. I've had multiple eBay sellers try to get away with things like selling me broken hardware. eBay hasn't always stepped in. They usually do. But if they don't, you can fall back on PayPal, and if not, your bank. So that's just my tips for buying used power supply. But let's test all these power supplies to see if my claims even hold up. These are 4 EVGA power supplies. I'm going to test them with this first to make sure they turn on. Then I'm going to test them with my expensive hardware right here, which I guess, whatever. If it dies, it dies. Who cares? And then if it holds up, that's going to be it. That's the video. It's bad. I should probably turn these around. Alright, power supply number 1 with the 24-pin connector test doodad McDuty thing. Okay, it's plugged in. I'm going to turn on the power supply and hope I don't die. Oh yeah, eco mode will make the fan not spin, so gonna turn that off. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. The fan is spinning. And it sounds fine. Doesn't sound unusual at all. So I'm gonna keep that on actually. Doesn't smell burny, which is good. Okay, it is now off. Going to unplug this. Alright, power supply 1. Motherboard test. This is so we're plugging in the 24-pin. I hope this doesn't fry everything. Alright, CPU. Why did I plug in every single cable to it? Okay, it is plugged in. If this turns on, it's a good time. If it doesn't, well, it's as good as dead. So I'm going to turn on the power supply. Then I'm going to turn on the PC. Where's my screwdriver? Using this screwdriver, I'm just going to short the pins. It's on. So the PC should post. I don't have a screen to plug it into. But judging if it was going to explode, now would be the time it would do it. So it looks like we've got 1 working power supply. So let's move on to the next one. Instead of plugging every cable into these, you know what I'm going to do? Because I'm smart. Is I'm just going to plug in the connectors that I need to the power supply themselves. They're all the same power supply. Now, I will be doing a video about, mixing and matching cables. Because, while it's not recommended, and you should never do it without knowing first, there is an easy way, without doing that whole voltmeter thing, to tell which cables can mix. Now, it mostly doesn't apply between brands, so you should definitely only really apply it to one brand at a time. But there is definitely ways to mix and match cables. You just have to be smart, know exactly what you're looking for, and exactly which cables you can mix. Alright, so this power supply can go in our good power supply pile, which is over here. Yay! 1 down. Let's try this one now. It's turned on. Light on the motherboard is on. Turn it on. Oh, look at that. Boot. Boom. 2 out of 4 working. At this point, we're good. Then again, I bought 4 used power supplies to prove a stupid point in a video nobody's going to watch. Alright. Light on the motherboard's on. Turn it on. Look at that. Boom. It's on. Yes. 3 out of 4. At this point, I could sell each of these for $100 and make a profit, which I'm going to probably do. I'm probably going to sell 3 of them for $100 and, I don't know, probably keep 1. I bought these because I needed 2. Then I accidentally bought 4. So I'm like, why not make a video that no one's going to watch? That is a great idea. Boom, done, works. Wait for this red light to turn green. You buy them on eBay, so, yeah, don't forget, and this is something I always say, on eBay will almost always, in every situation, protect the buyer, which is a positive and a negative. If you're a buyer, it's great. eBay will protect you if something's broken. But if you're a seller, eBay won't protect you if they, steal an SSD from a computer and send it back as broken, break a, and etc. If they try to steal, they say it never showed up, despite the fact it says it showed up. They say, oh, they shipped me nothing, and then you end up with no product. So it might be a smart idea to find used power supplies on eBay that work, like this, and then sell them on LetGo, where, everyone gets scammed. I don't know what I'm saying at this point. Final power supply. Watch this one just blow up. Be great. Nope, it just worked. Great. I'm actually tired. I'm so unathletic that I'm tired from turning on the same computer 4 times. There are people that do... I made a pyramid of power supplies. Okay, I have a question for you guys. If you actually made it this far, that means I value your opinion. I'm just kidding, I value no one's opinion, because most of them are wrong. But it means your opinion might be worth something because you might be smart enough to make it this far. Would giving away one of the... I would not give away 3 because I want to make profit. Full honesty, I want to make profit. But it might be worth it for me to give away one of these power supplies. Do you think that would be something worth giving away? They're about $220 a pop. Buying one of these new is about $220, and if they work, they work, so they're basically might as well be brand new. Should I give any of these away? I don't know. I mean, you could sell them for $100, so, I mean, it's like giving someone $100. I'm not going to touch it. You know what I always worry about? My sweat, like, going into, like, if my hand's sweating and I touch the top of this, my sweat goes in, blows the whole thing up. Because power supply is only dangerous is if you touch anything on the inside, they'll kill you instantly. And that's not even, like, lying. If you touch one of them capacitors or caps or whatever, on the inside, you die. That's just it. So, I'm going to say that in case someone's like, oh, I watched Dinky Sink's video, told me to touch the inside. No, I didn't. Disclaimer, don't touch the inside of a power supply, you'll die. Just by default. So, that was the video. Should you buy a used power supply? Well, if you're smart, there's definitely ways to buy them. Make sure you have one of these testers. Make sure you're buying a very reputable brand. And my suggestion is EVGA. You can, if you trust other brands, you can take your chances with other brands. But I just personally suggest buying EVGA power supplies. I trust them the most. I use EVGA power supplies in every single computer that's in this room. All 8 of 9 of them, I think, except for one Seasonic. Seasonic's pretty good as well, but I mean, the used power supplies you're mostly going to find are these G2s. EVGA, as you can see by this box right here, is actually up to the G5. Well, they went from the G3 to the G5, so you'll mostly find these G2s and the GQs. So I bought 4 of these G2s, so they all worked. That's great. I now will probably make a good profit. If I buy them, 224 of them, I sell them each for 100, I make about $180 profit just off of buying these. So it's pretty good. But that's really it. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed this video. It was a little educational and a little stupid. Very stupid. I made it. It's dumb. If you watched this far, say hi in the comment section. Goodbye. Love you guys. See you in the next one. I'm so tired.